chosen one, stop scrolling immediately and lock your spirit onto my voice right now. Do not dare swipe past this sacred message. The algorithm did not bring you here today. And while you were sleeping peacefully last night, heaven intercepted your digital feed because an extraordinary event took place in the unseen realm that left even the Archangels in absolute shock. The enemy thought they had trapped you in your weakest moment yesterday. They believed their subtle attacks would finally make you surrender your calling. But God turned your quiet bedroom into a holy sanctuary during the dark hours. And while you were completely unconscious, a powerful decree was written and sealed over your life before the sun even began to rise. You woke up this morning feeling a strange heaviness resting upon your chest. Your shoulders felt tight before your feet touched the floor. You thought it was just physical exhaustion from another difficult week. And although you tried to shake it off and force yourself to push through your morning routine, deep inside your spirit, you knew this feeling was completely different. You woke up suddenly at 3 in the morning again. You looked at the clock and felt a quiet pressure in the room. You wondered why your mind was suddenly awake while your body felt drained. And as you lay there staring into the darkness of your bedroom, you began to wonder if your nervous system was finally breaking down under the constant pressure. Stop calling your exhaustion a flaw or a mental burden. You are not broken. You are not losing your spiritual authority. That heavy sensation sitting on your heart right now is actually the physical weight of a divine mantle descending upon your soul while you slept. You were being anointed in the silence. If you feel a warm stir in your chest right now, type 777 in the comments below as a physical sign of your divine agreement with heaven. Do this as an act of obedience to lock this truth into your reality. This is not for public attention or social numbers. It is your personal seal upon the decree that was written over your life while you slept. You have spent years carrying the burdens of everyone around you. You became the emotional sponge for family members who never bothered to ask how your spirit was holding up. You gave away your light until your own home felt dark and quiet. And when you finally stepped back to protect your peace, they ignored your sacrifice and called you cold and distant. Heaven saw every silent tear you wiped away behind closed doors. Heaven watched you smile for people who were secretly using your generosity to build their own lives. You thought you were being abandoned when those relationships slowly faded away. But God was actually clearing the room so you could hear the instructions meant only for you. You have felt an intense desire to isolate yourself from the world lately. You find it hard to engage in small talk or pretend that ordinary conversations matter to you anymore. That quiet impulse to withdraw is not a sign of sickness or emotional bitterness. It is your soul creating a protective sanctuary so your spirit can recalibrate after the heavy battle that took place last night. The enemy is working overtime this week because he knows what happened last night. He saw the celestial guard surrounding your bed while you slept in peace. He realized that his attempts to keep you trapped in generational cycles have completely failed. He is terrified of the exact moment you awaken to the true power resting inside your spirit. Stay with me until the very last second of this message. Do not allow your mind to wander or let mundane distractions pull you away. If you leave now, you step back into the world without understanding the exact armor you were clothed in last night. Heaven scheduled this divine appointment to give you your exact instructions. Now, I want to pause and hold something important in front of you before we go deeper into this revelation. Over the past few years, something remarkable was found in research laboratories in New York that most spiritually sensitive people have never been told about. It did not come from a place most of us were watching. And because it came from research rather than traditional teaching, many chosen ones have missed this physical key entirely. A dedicated team of researchers studying the human mind discovered a specific physical reason behind the heavy fog so many chosen ones experience every day. They realized that your spiritual sensitivity was never the problem. Something within the original design of the human brain was systematically turned off by the noise of modern life. I am going to tell you exactly what they found later in this message, But right now, I need you to hold one sacred question in your heart as we move forward together. What if the fog you have been fighting is not a personal failure or a lack of discipline? What if something vital was taken from you? And what if it can be restored to you today? Let me reframe your reality right now, because you have been reading the physical signs backwards. You thought waking up at 3 in the morning was just a sleep problem or a physical symptom of stress. You blamed your own body for being tired. But in the spiritual realm, 3 in the morning is the holy hour of intense spiritual activity, when the veil between dimensions becomes paper thin. Last night, while you were asleep, the enemy tried to enter your quiet sanctuary through your subconscious mind. They attempted to project old memories of failure, guilt, and rejection into your spirit, so you would doubt your calling. They wanted to ensure that when you opened your eyes this morning, you would carry yesterday's heavy burden into today's sacred assignment. But the celestial watchman stationed around your room did not allow that attack to succeed. Archangel Michael and his legions intercepted that dark assignment before it could lock onto your spiritual heart. They stripped away the hidden agreements you made with fear during your darkest seasons, and they placed an unshakable divine boundary around your soul that no dark force can ever cross. This is why your body feels so drained today. Your spirit was actively receiving a deep calibration in the unseen realm while your physical frame rested. You are not experiencing a breakdown in your health. You are experiencing the physical aftermath of a major spiritual promotion. The heaviness resting on your chest is not a curse, but the weight of glory settling into your life. You must stop mourning the people who walked away from your life in recent months. The world told you that you were rejected, and you allowed those painful lies to make you doubt your own value. But heaven removed those toxic individuals because their low spiritual capacity could never withstand the frequency of your next season. God isolated you to protect your inner architecture from their negative noise. Stay with me right now, because what I am about to share next will make total sense of your sleepless nights. When you wake up suddenly between 3 and 4 in the morning, your spirit is being summoned to watch over your household. You are the watchman for your lineage. God wakes you up because he trusts your spirit to hold the line against darkness while everyone else sleeps peacefully. That quiet hour in the dark was never a punishment. It was a sacred invitation to stand sentinel over your destiny. While the rest of the world was asleep, your spirit was standing in the courts of heaven, receiving new authority. The enemy wanted you to feel lonely in those dark hours, but heaven was actually surrounding you with celestial armor to prepare you for the massive shift happening right now. You were chosen to be the cycle breaker for your entire family line. Every generational curse of poverty, emotional turmoil, and sudden delay ends with your spiritual obedience. The enemy knows that if you awaken to your true divine authority, the entire stronghold they built over your family will collapse in a single moment. That is why they fight your inner peace so intensely every single night. Take a deep breath right now and release the heavy guilt you have been carrying for so long. You do not have to defend your boundaries to people who only want to drain your light. You do not have to explain your quiet silence to those who never valued your soft words. Your gentleness was never a sign of weakness, and your quiet spirit is actually a lethal weapon against dark forces. You have spent too much time trying to fix broken people who preferred to stay in the dark. You thought that if you loved them enough, you could save them from their own bad choices. But heaven is telling you today that your mission was never to fix them. Your assignment was to shine your light clearly and let God handle the hearts of those who choose to remain blind to the truth. Listen carefully, because the atmosphere around your life is shifting right now. The confusion that blurred your vision for the past few months is beginning to lift from your mind. The deep fatigue resting in your bones is being replaced by a supernatural renewal of your strength. You are stepping out of the wilderness of preparation and walking directly into the season of your public elevation. Do not let your mind wander as we move toward the core revelation of this message. The enemy does not want you to hear what heaven has prepared for the next part of your journey. They want you distracted and tired so you swipe away before receiving your instruction. Lock your attention right here, because the truth about your divine identity is about to shatter every lie you ever believed. Every trial you survived in the dark was intentionally designed to build your inner strength. You thought you were being buried in the soil of failure, but God was actually planting you like a sacred seed. The dark forces thought they could destroy your purpose by isolating you from the world, but they did not realize that your season in the dark was simply preparing you to burst forth in glory. You are not the first chosen warrior to feel completely exhausted after a spiritual victory. Look at the ancient story of Prophet Elijah in the Holy Scriptures. After calling down fire from heaven and defeating dark forces, he walked into the wilderness alone. He sat down under a broom tree and begged God to take his life because his body was so tired. He thought he was the only faithful servant left in the entire land. But God did not punish Elijah for his exhaustion or lecture him for feeling overwhelmed. Instead, heaven sent an angel to feed him and give him deep rest. When Elijah woke up, God did not speak in the violent wind, the earthquake, or the fiery storm. God spoke to him in a still, small whisper. Look at the story of Jacob wrestling in the dark until the breaking of the day. He fought an unseen celestial being all night long while his family slept nearby in safety. He walked away with a limp, but he also walked away with a new divine identity and a brand new name. His limp was not a sign of defeat, but a physical mark of his royal authority. What happened to you last night in the quiet hours of your bedroom follows this exact divine pattern. You wrestled through the heavy atmosphere. You endured the spiritual pressure that would have broken an ordinary person. And just like Jacob, you woke up transformed with a new level of spiritual authority over your entire household. There is a sacred law of spiritual physics that the enemy tries to hide from you. Every time God expands your spiritual territory, your physical vessel must undergo a deep recalibration. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and it requires time to adapt to higher frequencies of divine glory. The heavy fatigue you feel today is simply your vessel adjusting to the massive light you now carry. When your spiritual frequency shifts to a higher dimension, lower frequencies can no longer remain attached to your life. This is why certain people suddenly became uncomfortable around you for no apparent reason. They did not leave because you made a mistake or said the wrong thing. They left because the divine light inside you began to expose the dark motives hidden in their hearts. You were never meant to fit into spaces that require you to shrink your light. Stop apologizing for the quiet authority that radiates from your presence when you walk into a room. You were engineered by heaven to shift the atmosphere, not to adapt to toxic environments. Hit that like button right now. Do not do it for this channel, but do it so this sacred message can reach another chosen one who is struggling in silence today. When you hit like, you help send this exact frequency to another weary warrior who needs to know they are not alone. Look at the life of Joseph, who was thrown into a dark pit by his own brothers. They thought they were ending his dreams, but they were actually funding his divine transportation to the palace. Look at Moses, who spent 40 long years in the desert heat before he was called to part the Red Sea. The wilderness was never his graveyard, but the sacred crucible where his character was forged. Your years of isolation were not wasted time in the eyes of heaven. God used every lonely night to build the inner architecture of your soul so you could carry the weight of future glory. If God had given you this breakthrough years ago when you still sought public approval, the pressure would have crushed you. But now you are ready to hold the promise without losing your spirit. The enemy knows that your season of hidden preparation is officially coming to a close right now. They can see the celestial alignment forming over your timeline, and they are desperate to keep you trapped in fear. They want you focused on your physical exhaustion, so you fail to recognize the massive doors unlocking around you this week. Take a deep breath and let the peace of God settle into your heart right now. Release the need to control how your breakthrough will manifest. Heaven has already signed the eviction notice for every spirit of delay, poverty, and confusion that tried to settle in your home. Now I want to close the loop. that has been open since the beginning of this message. Because I told you near the start that there was something remarkable found in research laboratories in New York that I was going to come back to. And I want to tell you now why I waited until this exact moment to bring it forward to your attention. Because what those neuroscientists found is not just another piece of intellectual information. What they discovered is an actual physical solution designed to repair your receiver. And a solution only becomes truly useful once you understand the complete spiritual shape of the problem it was created to solve. You now understand that shape completely. Stay right here as we prepare to step into the most vital part of this divine encounter. The veil is lifting, and the fog that clouded your judgment for months is finally dissolving. You are standing at the exact edge of your promised land, and every step you take from this moment forward is guided by heaven. Here is the profound truth that the enemy desperately tried to hide from you until this exact second. You have been believing that your greatest battle was against external forces or toxic people who tried to pull you down. But the ultimate trap set against your destiny was actually a hidden agreement of limitation buried deep inside your subconscious mind. You unconsciously made a secret contract with suffering many years ago when you were hurt. You began to believe that feeling exhausted was the only way to prove your spiritual dedication to God. You believed that carrying pain was required to stay humble, and that silent lie created an invisible ceiling over every single blessing that tried to land in your life. That hidden agreement is the exact reason why every breakthrough in your past suddenly stalled right when you were about to cross the finish line. Every single time heaven opened a door of financial abundance or peaceful connection, your mind panicked. You felt unworthy of ease because you were so deeply conditioned to survive in constant struggle. Now hear the exact revelation of what took place at 3 in the morning last night while you slept. Heaven did not gather last night to fight off a simple demonic attack against your home. The court of heaven convened because your soul reached its limit of suffering. In the quiet darkness of your room, your spirit cried out to God without a single word. And when that silent cry reached the holy throne room, God himself stood up and issued a sovereign decree. He ordered the celestial hosts to tear up that hidden contract of suffering permanently. The Archangels stood in absolute shock because they witnessed a divine override that skipped years of wilderness preparation in a single fraction of a second. They saw the Father declare that your debt of emotional pain was paid in full. They watched as the golden seal of heaven was stamped over your timeline, canceling every generational curse of delay that held your family back. You were not saved last night because you performed a ritual. You were saved because your Father decided that your suffering was over. Let this truth penetrate the deepest layers of your spirit right now. You are not just a regular human being trying to survive a difficult earthly life. You are a celestial warrior who was dispatched to this realm to break generational cycles. You are not following a distant plan that God wrote on a scroll. You are the divine plan designed to shift your line. The enemy is absolutely terrified right now because his greatest weapon against you has been completely destroyed. He can no longer use guilt to make you feel unworthy of peace. He can no longer use past mistakes to keep you trapped in toxic cycles. The false identity you wore to survive your trauma was permanently stripped away while you slept. Take a deep breath and feel the physical weight of that old contract leaving your chest right now. You do not have to beg for what has already been promised to you by heaven. You do not have to prove your worth to people who were engineered to be small. Walk with your head held high because God has personally vindicated your name before the angels. The long wilderness season that drained your strength for years has officially expired today. You are no longer standing in the painful waiting room of your destiny. You are stepping directly onto the main stage of your divine purpose. Every door that was slammed in your face by human hands is being replaced by ancient gates opening by the command of God. Your quiet silence was never a sign of weakness or surrender. It was the lethal weapon that disarmed the enemy when they expected you to lash out in anger. By choosing peace over petty arguments, You allowed God to step into your courtroom and fight the battle for you. And the victory He secured for you last night is permanent and absolute. Look at the glorious freedom that is unfolding before your eyes right now. You do not have to carry the emotional garbage of people who refuse to grow up. You do not have to heal individuals who prefer to live in their dark brokenness. Your only assignment moving forward is to walk in the total fullness of the royal mantle placed upon your shoulders last night. The dark forces thought they could bury you in the dirt of isolation and abandon you to rot alone. But they failed to realize that you carry the sacred divine DNA of the Most High God. When they threw you into the dark, they were not burying a victim. They were planting a seed that is bursting forth into a massive harvest right now before their very eyes. Now pay close attention to what follows, because we are stepping into an extraordinary moment together. What I am about to show you next is going to connect something you have felt in your own physical experience with something found in a research laboratory in New York. And that connection is going to explain something about your life that nothing else ever explained before. Let us speak plainly about what took place last night and why your body feels this way today. You experienced a major spiritual breakthrough in the unseen realm, but your physical vessel is still processing that frequency shift. For years, you blamed your mind for feeling foggy and exhausted. You thought your inability to focus was a personal flaw or a lack of spiritual discipline. But the reality is far more gentle. Your spirit was ready, but your physical receiver was operating under heavy interference. The relentless noise of the modern world has simply cluttered your vessel. You are a chosen warrior designed to walk in total clarity. Heaven did not give you a spirit of confusion. There is something I promised to return to earlier in this message regarding the discovery made in research laboratories in New York. I want to honor that promise right now. The researchers set out to answer why sincere, spiritually sensitive individuals so often struggle with persistent mental fog while trying to fulfill their calling. What they uncovered in their laboratory will change how you view your physical mind forever. In 1981, Dr. Roger Sperry received the Nobel Prize for his split brain research. He proved that the human brain was engineered with two distinct hemispheres designed to function in complete synchronization. When both sides operate together, you enter whole brain activation. Research shows that 98% of young children naturally operate in this creative genius state, yet fewer than 1 in 1,000 adults retain it as they grow older. Modern lifestyle systematically shuts down that natural synchronization over time. Your mental fatigue was never a spiritual failure or a punishment from heaven. It was a physical reality happening at the neurological level. When your brain operates in a fragmented state, clear spiritual guidance feels muffled, and your receiver functions at low capacity. A woman from California who works as a nurse described what happened when her physical receiver was restored. She spent years feeling like life was happening to her while her mind felt clouded. After 10 days of restoring her synchronization, she felt a heavy pressure lift and her clarity returned. A man from Texas shared a similar story after holding his family together for years while his own mind felt completely drained. Within 2 weeks of restoring his neurological balance, the persistent fog vanished. His daily prayer time no longer felt like speaking into a thick stone wall. Dr. Daniel Barone, a leading neurologist in New York City, dedicated years of research to solving this problem. His team took clinical neural sync technology and compressed it into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. All it requires is 8 minutes a day, resting with eyes closed. They call it the Genius Switch. It is not a sound wave product, not a meditation app, and not a temporary mood booster. It is a targeted sequence engineered directly on the Nobel Prize research to reconnect both hemispheres and restore your whole brain activation back to default. The Genius Switch is not for everyone. It is specifically for the chosen one who understands that God prepared not only the divine promise, but also the physical mind that must step into it. It is for the person who recognizes that their physical vessel needs restoration today. Most people will scroll past because they have accepted their mental fatigue as permanent. but your spirit brought you here because you are ready to claim what was prepared for you. You are ready to align your physical mind with the royal mantle placed on your shoulders last night. Dr. Barone's colleagues originally insisted that $500 was a fair price for a clinical protocol that replaces thousands of dollars in medical neurofeedback. It was initially released at $49, but on this official page it is available for $39. This access price exists so that chosen warriors who cannot travel to New York can still receive this vital tool. When you receive it today, you also receive 4 complimentary resources. These guides help you remove fog-inducing foods and steward your new clarity with wisdom. This protocol comes with a complete ironclad money-back guarantee. You can listen once, or you can listen 80 times over the coming months. If it does not produce the clarity delivered for over 18,000 people, every single cent of your $39 will be returned. Every week your receiver remains disrupted is another week your assignment moves through a mind operating below capacity. The provision arranged for your life becomes visible when your receiver is fully restored. What has been prepared for you deserves the fullest version of your mind. Please be aware of one crucial detail regarding counterfeit tracks online. Dr. Barone's team tested several public tracks using similar names and found zero neural sync technology inside them. The genuine protocol exists exclusively on his official verified page, linked in the description below. If your spirit confirms that your mind is ready to be restored today, the link in the description below and in the first pinned comment is waiting for you. You can review the research on their page before making your decision. Step through that door with confidence, knowing restoration has arrived. Remember that this tool does not replace God, nor does it replace your spiritual obedience. A physical tool simply restores the receiver so that what God is pouring into your life has a clear and healthy vessel to land in. The deeper current of this divine encounter is where we now return. Take a deep breath right now. Let the holy stillness fill your spirit. The intense battle over your household is officially over. And as you stand in the calm aftermath of that celestial intervention, a profound sense of divine peace is beginning to settle deep inside your soul. You do not have to fight those exhausting battles anymore. Heaven has already secured your total victory today. A profound quiet is settling inside you. The enemy tried to convince you that your struggle would last forever. They wanted you to believe that your silent tears went unnoticed by heaven. But the Almighty God has personally stepped into your courtroom, and He has rewritten your entire future in a single night. You are standing in a brand new dimension of grace today. Perform a simple physical action with me right now to seal this moment into your reality. Place your right hand directly upon your heart. Close your eyes for a brief second. Feel the steady rhythm of your chest moving under your palm. That quiet movement is physical proof that God is not finished with your sacred story, and every breath you take is a gift of divine grace. Say these sacred words out loud with me right now. Let your voice carry authority into the atmosphere around you. Say, I release the heavy burden of my past, and I step boldly into the fullness of my divine calling. Say, I cancel every hidden contract of suffering and delay that tried to hold my family line in bondage. Say, I am ready to receive my supernatural increase today. Feel the physical shift taking place inside your body right now. The dark forces around your bedroom were forced to scatter the moment you declared your true identity. You are no longer stepping into tomorrow, carrying the heavy weight of trauma. And because you are a demonstrated warrior who carries the backing of the Most High, every door in your path must yield to your presence. Your years of silent suffering were never a sign of abandonment. You were being protected while your character was forged in the fire of preparation. The painful seasons of isolation were intentionally designed to strip away every false identity that could not travel with you. You are now standing fully equipped for your destiny, and your presence carries the power to shift rooms. In the next 72 hours, you will begin to notice subtle signs of this shift appearing in your daily life. An unexpected door of opportunity will open for you. A persistent anxiety that troubled your mind for months will suddenly vanish without a trace. The heavy confusion is lifting from your mind because the decree signed last night cannot be stopped by human hands. Do not be surprised when old toxic connections attempt to reach out to you in the coming days. The enemy will try to send familiar distractions to test your new frequency. You must remain still in those moments. Refuse to engage in petty arguments that belong to your past season. Your silence is your lethal weapon, and your quiet peace is your strongest sanctuary against darkness. You were chosen to break the generational curses of delay for your bloodline. Every chain of generational fear ends right here with your spiritual obedience today. The mantle of royal authority resting upon your shoulders will cover your children and family for years to come. You are the cycle breaker heaven waited for, and your entire lineage will call your name blessed. If these holy words brought comfort to your weary spirit today, hit the like button right now to seal this moment. Share this message with a trusted friend who is currently fighting silent battles in the dark. And when you share this sacred revelation with others, you become a beacon of light that helps guide another weary soul back to the truth of their divine identity. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on your notification bell so you never miss heaven's next prophetic instruction. This is a sacred gathering place for remnant warriors who are awakening across the earth today. Type Amen or I receive it in the comments below as your physical sign of agreement with every blessing declared over your life. Lock it into your reality. Walk into your day with unshakable confidence and royal dignity. Remember that you were never forgotten or overlooked by your Heavenly Father. You were simply being hidden in the sacred shadow of His hand until the exact right moment arrived. The Archangels stand guard around your home today. Go forth in power and peace, chosen one, because your breakthrough is already here. Your morning marks the beginning of a completely new chapter in your life. The heavy cloud has officially cleared from your horizon. Step forward with unshakable faith in your heart and let your divine light shine brightly for all to see. Heaven is watching over you with immense joy, and your future is brighter than anything you left behind. Peace be unto your house today. Rest in the quiet assurance that every promise spoken over your destiny will come to pass in perfect timing. You do not need to strive or force doors to open with human effort. Simply walk in obedience, guard your inner sanctuary, and allow the divine alignment to unfold before you. The heavy warfare of yesterday is finished, and your season of harvest has officially begun.